Good morning, everyone. I am Xiomara Angel, and I'm the Strategy Manager for Post-Secondary Access at Alabama Possible. Welcome to our College and Career Decision Day webinar. So we would like to thank our sponsors for supporting the work in making this webinar possible. Without their support, we would not be able to do this at free of charge. We would also like to thank our partners that work closely with us to implement these initiatives that we are going to discuss today. So thank you for our great partners, the Alabama Commission on Higher Education, Alabama Community College System, the Alabama State Department of Education, and the Get Educated, which is the Common Black College application. Some housekeeping, a few housekeeping notes before we get started. Please keep your microphones on mute at all times to avoid any feedback during the presentation. This webinar will be recorded and posted to the YouTube channel. And the website would be youtube.com/Alabama Possible. Just give us 1 or 2 days to post this recording. And you could always view all of our previous recordings on the website. Please remember you could always submit questions throughout the webinar using the chat feature. We will try to answer as we go or wait until towards the end of the presentation to answer your questions. And lastly, we do have poll questions throughout the webinar, so we do appreciate that you give us your feedback and that you participate in these poll questions. But if you are a high school educator that is looking to receive professional development credit, this is very important to answer these poll questions and stay throughout the whole webinar because towards the end, you will also get poll questions that you have to answer in order to receive your professional development credit. So educators, we want you to share your efforts on social media to continue building a college culture within your community, especially after talking about today's topic, right, which is the college and career decision. So we want to see your efforts on social media, and you never know who might be watching your efforts online and might even want to collaborate with you in future events. So always find us on social media, tag us, and use the following hashtags. So the Alabama Goes to College has 3 main components. The first one is the Cash for College. So the Cash for College, the goal is for every graduating senior to complete the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid before they graduate from high school. So they can access federal, state, and institutional aid to pay for the education after high school. The second is the Alabama College Campaign, the Alabama College Application Campaign. The Alabama College Application Campaign is part of a national effort to increase the number of first-generation college students and students from low-income families to pursue a college degree or higher education credential. The primary purpose of this effort is to help high school seniors navigate the complex college application and admissions process and to ensure that they apply to at least one post-secondary institution. And the third is the College and Career Decision Day. So the College and Career Decision Day celebrates students committing to pursuing that education past high school, whether it is to obtain a 2-year degree, 4-year degree, or a certificate, or industry recognized credential, or entering into the military or pursuing a skilled trade. So today's learning objectives are what is College and Career Decision Day? What should you celebrate? Who should be involved? How you should celebrate and where to start. So our first poll question, once students have made their decisions, does your school/program employ any end-of-year strategies to prevent summer melt? And summer melt, the definition for summer melt would be the event in which high school graduates are supported in navigating college enrollment tasks so that those who intend to enroll actually matriculate in the fall. So we'll give a few moments to answer.
CMR is going to touch on this on our next slide, but while y'all are responding to this poll question, I just wanted to jump in and mention a little bit about what our program sees over the summer. So through Alabama Goes to College, we have our help desk that we operate year round. And in the summer, we find that we get a lot of questions from high school graduates who are needing some kind of support or service and don't know where to go at their specific school. So I would encourage y'all as the touch point for these seniors to make it very clear and evident who they should reach out to over the summer when they have questions. So if you don't have staff who are on all year and there's a specific administrator they're supposed to go to, if y'all could just make sure that that line is very clear for students so they know exactly who to contact. I'm sure that would be a big help to them over the summer months. But it looks like we had almost everyone respond. So a pretty even mix. 38% said yes, 31% no said no, and then 31% said they'd like to learn more. So we'll follow up with you if you said you'd like to learn more and talk about what supports could look like over the summer. But thank you so much for your responses.
So, here's a handout that you can find in our educators toolkit. Um, so what is summer build? So after seniors graduate, some of them might still have like various tasks that they have to complete before they pursue their post-secondary pathways in the fall. So, what are we asking, right? So before summer begins, we're asking you to ensure that your students are informed, like said, about upcoming deadlines such as housing, orientation, tuitions that they're needing to complete or before their program starts, having their FSAID username and password done. Um, have contact information for summer staff in your district that will be available to provide them with the assistance. And of course, like May was mentioning, you can give them our help desk phone number so that they can reach us through phone calls or text messages if they have any questions so that we can assist them. Um, so during the summer, you can also see if there will be staff who can assist these students at your schools or districts with obtaining any other information like official transcripts, ACT fee waivers, or deposit fees, enrollment deposit fee waivers. So just once again, you can find this handout in the educator's toolkit. So what is College and Career Decision Day? College and Career Decision Day is a nationwide movement that began with former First Lady Michelle Obama's Reach Higher initiative. It is a chance to rally around local students within your community by showing them your support. College and Career Decision Day celebrates students' choices in making commitment to higher education, enlisting into the military, or entering the workforce. This is a great opportunity for educators, parents, families, to encourage the students pursuing education past high school to inspire and encourage them along their journey. When planning for your events, know that they can be celebrated either virtually, in person, or both. So when should you celebrate? College and Career Decision Day can be celebrated during the month of May. Educators can choose to celebrate on one day, a few days, or even a week. It is your choice and what your capacity is, right? Um, you could always register your event at College Signing Day, and you'll find the link on the PowerPoints that we will be providing a copy of towards the end. So who should be involved, right? Of course, parents and guardians, they're like the main people at home that are cheering these students on, right? Faculty, staff, and counselors, especially because you have been and all of them have been on the educational journey with the students. School administrators, so school counselors, community representative, other students so that they're feeling motivated by their classmates so that they can use this as an inspiration. So that whenever there are seniors, they're looking forward to something, right? Um, Local elected officials, maybe like the mayor, city councilman or councilwoman, state representatives, celebrities or people that influence that are relevant to the student. So, like, if you have a local TikTok personality, invite them. They might even, feel influenced by it, right? Local media, so broadcasters, radio personalities, or even the newspaper. So, how to celebrate? You can, of course, do like virtual, so that would be like webinars, posting on social media, or even in person through school or community events. Virtual, you could always have webinars, right? Like those, especially if you are mostly a virtual school. You might even consider having like a keynote speaker that can provide like motivational words or invite previous students as well. Students can also take part of these activities by posting videos online. When you're considering social media, your students can also share pictures of themselves in their like cap and gown gear or t-shirts. Um, you can also make signs in celebrating College and Career Decision Day. And we'll give you some links where you could also find these signs to kind of help you create them. So when celebrating in person, obviously it could be a little more fun than just attending a webinar, right? But you can do like pep rallies, ask students to wear t-shirts of their choice and post them on social media, coordinate a virtual or physical field trip. And like one example that comes to my mind would be maybe, I don't know, if there's like a local team that might want to invite your students to have maybe like a senior night, right? Students can even get like a shout out during like halftime, and that would be like a very fun experience for your students, and a nice memory for them to have. Um, of course, take pictures of the students in cap and gowns with signs of what their occupations will be. Design a bulletin board with school staff photos and map where the students will be attending, host a door decorating contest. And one of like my idea also would be to invite previous graduates to share their experiences um, as graduates in college or in the workforce. You could also prepare a senior PowerPoint to share on social media with pictures and names, have a senior roll call, design a commitment to my future pledge to send to students, host a family college night and have students post pictures on social media, or legacy letters, where your seniors can write a letter to the upcoming senior class and just have them pumped up as well for their whenever it's their turn. Some ideas that you can celebrate within your community. So have seniors decorate their mailboxes, doors, windows at their homes. I've seen where like they have sometimes some communities have like the little boards like they can post on their yards. I think that would be another great idea. Um, have people in the community send notes or place cards in the mailbox of the senior graduating. And another idea that also came up would be like adopt a senior. So especially for the cost of sending students off to college can be very expensive. So this idea could help a student, get some of like a gift basket with things that they might need in college or going into workforce, like work attire. Um, those could be ideas that could also be used for this celebration. And of course, involve lower grade levels to kind of have them, inspired. So, for example, you can have like the junior class help create a plan and prepare. The sophomore class can help decorate. All of these can help, of course, inspire your next class, right? So where to promote your events, of course, social media is huge, like Facebook, Instagram, X, Snapchat, your school's website, local radio station, local television stations. All of that could be very helpful, especially if you're trying to maybe even in the future get sponsorships. A lot of it can have like, that you'll already have those pictures to post it and people can get inspired to help you even create a bigger event in the future. So where to start? Obviously choose your date. Make sure that you register your school at Better Make Room, which the link again will be on the PowerPoint, and download the college signing day toolkit. So some key resources to have, especially when planning for your college and career decision day or month, are like the Reach Higher and the college signing day links, and they will be also sent in a follow-up email. So this is what the college and signing day kind of like resource page looks like. So you'll find activity guides, event guides, sponsor letter templates that you can use for these ideas that you might want to have, right? You can do the printable signs, the hashtag signs for your pictures, social media graphics, and you could always find that on this website, and they have different various things that you can use as to help create and plan these events. So another idea that I found on social media, of course, is this college and career decision day like celebration, and you can see that they went all out for this event. They got like free tickets to the Astro game, but I think I wanted to just highlight use your community like based organizations to maybe even have like a career fair, right? A school fair, but also include resources to nonprofits around the area because you never know what a student might need, what resources the student might need while they go, after they go to like college or if they go off to the workforce. There's a lot of resources in your community, and it is very important for them to start learning about these resources that might help them get those scholarships or whatever other resources they might need. So just throwing ideas out there for you. And I think the cool part was that they even had a chance to win a new car, which obviously, like, we understand that in Alabama, transportation is one of the biggest barriers, right? So hey, you might even have like connections to someone who might be able to provide you with a car to raffle for students. So you never know what's out there for your students and who might be able to help you get this. So just ideas to think about, or maybe I know that it might not be something that you might be able to do this year, but maybe look into for the future. So another thing that I wanted to just like bring out again, like there are just partnerships with um, organizations or other people working, right? In the same, just thinking about like, for example, like the West Alabama Works have a regional signing day where they can honor students that are entering the workforce. So of course, this would be something that schools in the West region of Alabama can attend, right? April 24th. But maybe there are other organizations doing the same things. So it is always very helpful to find these organizations that are able to do this and help you with like these celebrations. Now I wanted to go ahead and bring on our presenters who will share with us what they're doing at their schools. So we have Sherry Krieger who is a college counselor at Alabama School of Cyber Technology and Engineering. And we also have Alyssa Thomas, who's a professional school counselor from T.R. Miller High School. So they will be sharing their experiences on the college and career decision day. So, Sherry, whenever you're ready.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining everyone. I need to say up front that what we do for Decision Day was not my original idea, and I'm pretty sure that I saw it on one of these webinars a few years ago. So I'm at the Alabama School of Cyber Technology and Engineering in Huntsville. And so what we do, we call it Decision Day, and we usually do it during graduation week. So we do it well, we're graduating really early this year, so it's actually early this year, but so we don't usually do it on May 1st, but these are some good pictures right here of what we do is we have the students, they already have their cap and gown, and so we ask them to wear a t-shirt or something, a hat or whatever from their intended college. And then they come up one at a time, and I'll get to that in just a second. But they come up one at a time, and they have their robe on top of it, and they open their robe, and that's their school, and everybody cheers. We have all at our event, we have all grade levels there. We don't have parents there. We just do it as a school event, but we do have somebody like streaming it on Facebook or whatever so that parents can watch if they want to watch. But we keep it kind of so it's a little I would say low key because we're not trying to entertain all the parents. It really is for the kids. And so we try to make it as simple as possible. So we don't actually make them line up alphabetically or anything like that. We give them a card, and in this picture on the right, you can see somebody with a suit is standing right next to him. That's our president, Mr. Massey. So what we have them do is their name is on a card, and like their intended major or what planning to do is on the card, and they hand it to Mr. Massey. So we hand him the cards ahead of time. He reads out their name and their intended major, and then the kid actually says, "I'm going to UAH," or whatever it is, and opens their robe. So I will say this has worked really well for us. The first year, they were like, "I don't want to do that. That's embarrassing." But they have kind of gotten over it because they've seen it every year and they know this is what they do. We do ask the students to let us know if they have trouble getting a t-shirt for their college. So we do remind them earlier in the year that this is coming, like at Christmas. I always send out, or like in December, I send out, here are some things that would be a great gift for your high school senior, like a laptop for college and things like that. And I always say, if they know what their college is, they're going to need a t-shirt. That would be a good Christmas gift. But we do try to help them find a shirt. Some of them borrow a shirt from a friend. Some of them borrow a shirt that I have, or we reach out to colleges if we have to. But a lot of them have been on college visits, and so they have gotten a shirt at some point. So I don't know what's on the next slide. Do I have another slide, or is this it? Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is another part of it that I wanted to say. And as a point of reference, we have 85 seniors this year. And so I know, like, depending on your school size would depend on what kind of a program you can have and what's manageable for you. So I do want to say that our class isn't that big, so it's pretty easy. It's easy enough for us to manage. But like I said, they come up with a card, and we don't try to alphabetize them. We just let them walk in, and it's pretty low key. But one of my favorite things that we do is we do this in our school, which is just our auditorium. And normally what this picture is our seniors from last year, our rising seniors from last year. This is decision day after the seniors do their decision. And this is one of my favorite things. So just like a lot of y'all probably do, maybe in your gym, you have at pep rallies, the freshmen sit in one area and the sophomores have their like designated area. So that's what we do in the auditorium. We have sections for each grade level. And when the seniors get done with their decision, after they get done announcing their thing, they just go sit down. And then when they're all done, we clap, and that's all good. And then we send them out of the room. So they're like leaving, and we're left with the freshmen, sophomore, and juniors. And the other thing that we do is we call this moving up day. So it's decision day and moving up day. And because they have designated seats, now that the seniors are gone, we have the juniors move up to the senior seats, and they're allowed to sit there for the rest of the year because we have a meeting once a week. They're allowed to sit there the rest of the year. Then the sophomores move over to the junior seat, and we do it one class at a time. And so that's a really fun part. And we give them a senior t-shirt. And so the senior t-shirts are sitting like in their area. So that's a really fun thing. And then is there one more slide? If there's not, it's okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. The other thing I was going to say, backtracking a little bit, is the first year we had such a small graduating class. Can you go back a slide? Sorry, CMR. So each senior, before they went up with their robe and all that stuff. Okay, so the first year, like let's just take Damien on the right, who's doing UAH. So when he went up, when we had a really small class, I had a slideshow going, and we had a slide for each kid that had like where they had applied, and then they had two slides. One showed logos from the colleges they applied to, where they were accepted. And then they had another slide that after they opened their robe, then that slide would come up and it would say, Damien chose UAH or whatever. We were able to do that the first year because we had a very small group of seniors. Now that we have more, I can't, that's too much. So what I did last year was I had a series of slides that are just scrolling the whole time. And it's in the middle of each slide, it says the colleges who offered acceptance to our class of 2025. And so it's like 7 or 8 slides that have like different colleges listed on them. And that's going through the whole time. So it's not specific to a student. But I do think one of the things that you mentioned earlier was getting the younger students involved. I think it's important for them to see what's possible. And so, there are slides that of course have community colleges and military options on there, and Alabama and Auburn, of course, but there's also Harvard, and there's North Carolina A&T, schools that they maybe haven't ever heard of. And so it's colorful and it's kind of interesting to see that slide through. And so I do have those slides that are just going. It's a lot of work, but sometimes you can get some help from some people at school that can put slideshows together. I'm doing it myself, but I don't have as many students as I know some of y'all do. So I do think that's an important thing too, because what happens a lot I know it happens a lot in Alabama, in the Southeast, where students tend to stay at home, but they've applied to all these other colleges. I think if we only showed the ones they went to, we wouldn't have as much variety, but showing the slideshow behind them gives a lot more variety and gives the younger kids something to like what's possible and what's out there. So that's all I have.
Thank you so much for sharing, Sherry. And now let me go ahead and pull Alyssa's pictures, if you give me a moment.
Have a lot of pictures. Hi, everyone. Just to kind of give you an idea of what we do here at T.R. Miller High School, I would be remiss to say that if we start talking about this, of course, with the Alabama Free Application Week before the fall, even with our juniors in the spring, so that, the goal is, of course, for them to apply to college. And for a lot of our students, and some of our students, they would be considered first generation students. So this is not something that they have been exposed to. And so we help them apply to college, because we believe in our students having lots of options. And so we definitely want them to have those options. And we talk about, this is how you apply, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to help you do that. And because we believe, of course, in the power of these options. And so whether they choose to go to college, enter the workforce, or pursue military, what matters most is that they have these choices, and that the support, that we support them and help them to pursue them. So we actually, for our college decision day, we have our faculty and staff, everyone wears their alumni t-shirts, sweatshirts. For some, it's colleges, universities, in-state, out-of-state, community colleges. We have military branches. Our principal Dr. Altford is National Guard. So he always promotes that as well, because he talks about how important that was to getting his degree in college. And so it's very fun for our students to see, you know, where their teachers and different people that work in their actual school, where they went to college or where they went to school. And so, and sometimes, it's fun because it's somewhere they've never heard of. And like you were just talking about, somewhere outside of Alabama, a school they've never, been exposed to. So that's always fun that they get that. So everybody on campus is kind of in on that day, a spirited day, and it's fun for everybody on campus. And of course, our teachers love wearing jeans with their college day or their university military branch shirts and so forth. And so also in collaboration, you'll see pictures where you've got some students that are standing behind a table, and that is our Career Readiness Center. And so we have students that participate in their career signing day, where they are pledging to use the skills that they, have learned and developed to enter the workforce, or to continue, building those credentials at the next level. So, we might have someone in welding or healthcare or some other trade. And for some of them, that's where they're going to stop and they're going to go straight to work. And we're super excited for them. And for others, they're going to pursue another credential or diploma using that as their background. So we want to make sure and always celebrate all of those students as well. And then we also have some that will go into the military. And so we have pictures. This is one of our students that was pledging to go into the Army. And so we always like to showcase those as well. Any of our military students that are going to do that, and thank them for their service. But we typically always, these were our military guys from last year. And so I had something underneath this that said these guys where they were going under each one, which military branch they were going to. But we want to celebrate all of those. And this is a picture of something that our teachers that we did that was a lot of fun for the students. And so outside each outside each teacher's classroom, or even my office, the principal's office, assistant principal's office, when I was younger, what did I want to be? And they can see, oh, my teacher really wanted to be, okay, she wanted to be a veterinarian, but she started off here. And then they also can see the path that some of their teachers have taken. Maybe they started off at community college and then transferred, to a 4-year college, and then they got their master's here, or different things like that. And so it's interesting because everyone in the school sees it, 9th through 12th grade, and they have a lot of fun checking those out throughout that process too. Because they don't know where to start, a lot of them, and where they start is not where they're always going to finish. And so there's a lot of opportunities there. So we also, of course, post lots of pictures on Facebook. I do a reel with those pictures as well. We have pennants from most every school. We try to get a pennant, and I think we have one now for this graduating class. So that at least they can be like in groups, or they can hold their pennants, hold shakers, some kind of to show their spirit for their school. And it's also fun to watch the 9th, 10th, and 11th graders as our seniors come in to realize where they've chosen to go to school, because for several of them, they realize they had several options and they haven't let everyone know yet where they're going to go to school. So when they come in that day, it's kind of like they're revealing where they've chosen to go to school. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for everybody. We have a lot of fun doing that. We also make a PowerPoint, have that showing in our lunchroom. And so it shows these pictures and where our students are going to have chosen to go and what they've decided to do. We also, I don't have a picture of it, but we have community representatives. So if someone has already received a job offer, we will have that person come in and have a picture made with that student so that we can celebrate that as well, that they've already gotten that job. We do a senior spotlight Facebook post for each student. And so we make a Canva, we put their picture in there, their name, and then what their future plans are. So at that point, and those are posted on Facebook, and so everybody can see those, and grandparents and aunts and uncles and all the things. They love seeing that. But it's a lot of fun, and I feel like it's a lot of fun for our 9th, 10th, and 11th graders to see the variety of places that there are to get an education, and where you can start and finish, and that there are a lot of different schools out there. So our big thing is we want to make sure that everybody just knows there's lots of options. And that picture particularly, that's one of my favorites because the student in the very middle, he's a first generation student. He's actually at the University of South Alabama. I saw him last week when we took our juniors to the University of South Alabama to visit. And I saw him in the cafeteria, and that particular student, when we started the application process in the fall, he said, I'm not going to college. That's not something I want to do. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. What do you want to do? And we talked about a few other options. And so he said, I don't think I can even get into college. And so he applied, had a great GPA, and was so excited, just came running down the hall when he got his acceptance through email that he had gotten the first one that he'd gotten into a college, and not only gotten in, but gotten a scholarship as well, a partial, a scholarship there. So that just warmed my heart. And then from there, it just, kind of multiplied. And so he applied to more schools and found his home there at USA and absolutely loves it and is doing remarkable. So that's just one of those fun stories I like to celebrate. And these are some other schools. And so if they're going to the same school, sometimes I'll try to get a group picture of them. And then we have students also that sign for athletic scholarships. And so we include those as well. And like I said, we just want to celebrate all of our students and whatever decision that they're making for the future and help them, follow through with that. And so that's what we do here at T.R. Miller High School.
Thank you so much for sharing, Alyssa. So many great ideas. So during our newsletter, we also asked if you could share some of your ideas without having to present. So here is one submission that we got from Pike Road High School. And the career coach, Emily Reese, she wanted to share how they celebrate Senior Decision Day. So with her blurb, she says, due to the craziness of the end of the semester and how early exams start, we have chosen to hold our decision day during the week of graduation. We have an event called Parade of Patriots, in which our seniors wear their caps and gowns and are bused to each campus to walk the halls of our elementary, intermediate, junior high, and high school. We encourage them to wear a t-shirt under their gown that shows where they're headed after graduation. So that's college, future, place of employment, or the military branch. And then we come back to the high school for our Decision Day celebration. It includes popsicles, a photo booth area with props, and signs for the colleges that they will be attending. It is a fun event that we are able to grow each year. So some of the pictures that were sent to us from Emily. We want to thank Emily also for sending these pictures, and we hope to see your pictures appear too in the future. And we've reached to the end. Does anyone have any questions? You could always drop them in the chat. I don't know if there are any questions so far.
None yet, Ciamara.
Okay, we do have comments, so they're loving these ideas, so we're excited to see your future events, and hopefully you'll send the pictures so we could also feature them in the future. So if we don't have any questions, just a reminder about your professional development hours, and the link will also be sent in the follow-up email with the course number and section number. So just some events to save the date for. Our community conversation, which is understanding college career readiness and graduation requirements, would be April 24th at 10:30. And of course, our celebration day and professional development workshop, which would be June 4th at 10:30 a.m. as well. So you could always register at alabamapossible.org /events for these upcoming webinars. Our toolkit takeaways, you could always find them at the Alabama Possible YouTube channel, and you will also be provided with the link on the PowerPoint. Always don't forget to share our help desk phone number, of course, just going back to the summer mail, or summer build information, like if your students need us for any things that they need to follow up for the summer, or even questions about FAFSA, scholarships, anything, just make sure that they could have our phone number and they could always call us. Our phone, we do have our lines working from Monday to Friday during business hours from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So just keep that in mind. And always stay connected with us through our website, alabamagoestocollege.org, of course, our phone number, and you could always email us with any questions or concerns that you might have. And we want to thank everyone for participating today and being on this webinar with us. Sherry and Alyssa, thank you for sharing your pictures and ideas. And of course, Emily, for sending your ideas through our email. And we hope to see all of your ideas very soon. So thank you, and we hope you have a great rest of your week.